Good evening, everyone. Welcome to AIScP webinar series on Life Program. So, Life Program is a unique initiative of Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. So, Life Program is to protect and preserve the environment. It was introduced by Narendra Modi ji at COP26 Glasgow, 1st November 2021, which has become a mass movement to protect the nature instead of mindless destruction as well as consumption. So those people who participate in known as pro-planet people. So India is the first country to include life in a nationally determined contribution to propagate healthy and sustainable way of living. So under this, we have the mission life, which try to protect the nature and also the conserve the environment. And they have the target of protecting the nature from 2020 to 28. With this target, they are trying to achieve at least 80% of the villages and urban local bodies to aim to become environment friendly by 2028. So under this, we have the one unique program which is known as Waste to Wealth. So life program focus on the protecting the environment along with managing the waste in a very meaningful manner. So in this life program, the waste streams considered are hazardous, agriculture as well as municipal waste. So United Nations also has come up with the 17 sustainable goals. Under that, goal number 12 talks about sustainable development by ensuring the sustainable consumption as well as production pattern, and also the effective waste management, which includes municipal as well as hazardous waste as well. So that's where SDG 12 calls changing the present lifestyle to protect the environment, which is more sustainable. As part of that, Niti Aayog has constituted one committee for developing the circular economy and action plan for different categories of the waste, and MOEFCC has been considered as a nodal ministry to focus on the circular economy and providing the action plan for the and also the guidelines for the extended producer responsibility, especially for packaging the plastic as well as the plastic waste management, and also providing the rules under the waste management. So in this life campaign is focusing on individual behavior as well as co-create the global ecosystem so that everyone can exchange their ideas, and also promoting the local culture which can drive the campaign towards the sustainable development. In this regard, EIACP, as you are aware, we are conducting series of webinar. Today we have with us Dr. Tejaswini Ananth Kumar. I wholeheartedly welcome you, madam. So Dr. Tejaswini Ananth Kumar is an Indian politician and also the managing trustee as well as chairperson of Adamya, Chetana, which is non-profit organization established in the year 1997 by the great leader Shri Ananth Kumar ji, who was a central as well as cabinet minister in the memory of her mother, his mother, Girija Shastry. Adamya Chetana, which provides the fresh food to the school children, as well as provides the nutrition food along with Atta Pata. So this is a unique program or the concept which makes the student to learn by encouraging the culture as well as the having the nutrition food. So this is the one of the unique method to motivate the students other than the blackboard method. So she has also her credit to several green projects and known for her unique way of working the things. And also she is an engineer by profession as well as education. And she was also a social entrepreneur. She served as a scientist in the Aeronautical Development Agency under the leadership of great Abdul Kalam. And also she was the part of light combat aircraft, which is known as Project Tejas. So in her early days in Bengaluru University, she was active member of ABVP and organized various activities for the students as well as the society. One of the unique program of her is Green Bangalore. So she aimed to achieve at least 1:1 tree for the 1:1, which means one tree for one person, and which is a unique initiative to green the Bangalore and reduce the urban impact. With this small and brief introduction, I wholeheartedly welcome you, madam, and we hope that there will be a very useful discussion and which makes enlightening us. Over to you, madam.
Thank you, Bharat, for the introduction of Adamya Chetana and our various projects. all the members who are there with me on this for this talk. The topic given to me is innovative and decentralized solutions for sustainable lifestyle. And this is very the topic itself is so close to my heart, and especially through Adamya Chetana's various activities, and of course back at home, been trying to get into these small activities, and how we can maybe sometimes small changes, sometimes definitely bring a big change, sometimes it's a small change itself, but it's very satisfying work. So I'll just share my journey and various projects which Adamya Chetana has tried over the last 15-20 years. And for this, for the change in lifestyle, I think three things are very important. The Roti Kapda Makan, which is the famous film many of us would have seen long back, and in food, in our clothing, and in our housing. I think these are the three things where every common man should look at the change, what changes he has to make to go for a green lifestyle. The first thing, which foremost, when we started our midday meal program after a couple of years, I was been thinking initial days was, of course, setting up the kitchen itself. We started with 10,000 children, and eventually by 2007, we had some 4 kitchens in India: Bangalore, Hubli, Kalburgi in Karnataka, and Jodhpur in Rajasthan. And while you cook for so many people, like you can see the figure here, in our Bangalore kitchen, we every day cook for more than 6 ton rice, 2 ton dal, 300 liters of oil, 1,500 kg of vegetables, and all this. When you get so many material, when you do the cooking, the wastage till 2009 used to be around 300 to 400 kg a day. When you cook for 70,000 people, that way comparatively 400, 500 kg is less per person, per capita if you go for. But how can we reduce it further was the thought. And we just listed all the things that get into the dustbin and try to find some alternatives for those things. And I'm happy to tell you, within 10 days or 15 days of thinking how we reduce garbage, not just reducing, we just made it zero. So since 2009 to till date, since last 14 years, although we cook huge tons of, like totally around 8 to 9 tons of material, but what comes out as waste is just zero kg, 0 gram. And how is it possible? We just listed all the waste that we used to call it as waste and throw in the dustbin. It was coconut shell. Coconut shell, we started using it in the smokeless chula, which you can see it in the screen. It's a biomass stove. So used as a fuel. Then what? All the we avoided bringing plastic, because generally the packages, it comes in big packages and all those can be reused. But whatever plastic package covers that come in, we started, we washed them, dried and kept them in one place and sent it for recycling. That was second. What else? The waste food, we used it, we installed a biodigester. We have a biogas today, and the waste food went there. That's it. What else? Paper. Through paper, we started making some artifacts. I'll come to that later. That's it. Now the big kitchen is a zero garbage. We started this creating awareness about zero garbage kitchen, and today I can proudly tell you, even my house kitchen is a zero garbage kitchen, wherein I go for home composting and all other things. Even in Adamya Chetana's, whatever the 1,500 kg vegetables what we use, the peel goes for composting. Earlier we were giving it for as cattle feed, but now we are composting that and getting some big quantity of compost. Another experiment of Adamya Chetana is how do we convert our Pakashala into Pathashala? Sorry, please correct it as not Pata, it is Pathashala. So when thousands of children eat food, we never wanted to use such a huge quantity of fossil fuel. Till 2010, we were using every day some 80 LPG cylinders a day. It used to be around 1,500 LPG cylinders, 1,500 into 14.5 kg. When we moved to diesel, in between for few years, we were running our boiler using diesel, which was around 400 liters a day, quite a huge quantity. On one side, in schools, we say use less fuel, but every kitchen of the country or of the world is dependent on petroleum fuel or electricity. Again, electricity comes from most of the times from fossil fuel. 80% of our electricity is from fossil fuel. So we started contemplating what are the alternatives for cooking, and we got the briquette. You can see our Honorable President of India holding the briquettes made from waste material. So 90% of our fuel, what we use for cooking 70,000 people, is from briquette. The other photo where you can, the top one, this is called pellet, and again pellet is used to make frying the masala and making the tadka. So I can proudly tell all of you, and especially to our young children, that here is a kitchen which was using around 80 LPG cylinders a day. Now, since last 13 years, the Adamya Chetana has not allowed even one LPG cylinder to enter our compound, making it 100% fossil-free fuel kitchen. And even the electricity that is generated is through the grid-on solar. So whatever little electricity to run the motors, to run the boiler and all those things, we have a on-grid solar on the rooftop, and we are the first rooftop solar, on-grid solar installed in Bangalore is Adamya Chetanas. And today I'm happy that many households have the grid-on solar installed on their rooftop. Yeah, from green kitchen to dining, and to the especially why I call green events and green dinings to go together is today all the events, the most of the waste generated in every event is either from the dining area or from the stage or the gifts and what we give and the decorations what they do. So we started working these two things, and the new project or a new innovative project that Adamya Chetana came out, we called it as Plate Bank, which we started in year 2014. We have 10,000 sets of various sets of reusable cutlery. We have some 8,000 plates, buffet plates, some 1,000 big size plates, glasses, bowls, spoons, to washable napkins. Now in any event, please say no to the paper glass, no paper glass, no plastic spoon, no other kind of one-time use cutlery, no plastic water bottle. We can go for a 20-liter safe water, use the stainless steel reusable cutleries, and still have a safe dining. And now we have, I'm happy to share that we have a dishwasher on wheels now. So Adamya Chetana for big mega events will send the dishwasher so that we can wash these plates there itself and start reusing. And I'm happy to share with you that our plate bank, they have used it in Krushi Mela, in Palace Grounds recently, in Dasara Utsav, in so many marriages and so many seminars. And one of the biggest being recently, there was an event near Hassan called Sanchari Dasara, organized by Rambhapuri Swamiji, wherein 4.5 lakh people had their prasadam over 10 days. And every year they used to use either paper plates, Then they graduated themselves to areca nut plates, which used to cost them 5 rupees per plate. Not just the money, when you when you use and throw these areca nuts plate, the Swamiji himself was saying they used to hire at least some 50 to 60 lorries of waste of these plates used to get into the dumping areas. This time they decided to use our plate bank. We gave them some 3,000 plates, actually 5,000 plates. I suggested them even 3,000 should be sufficient. The people who are eating the food were requested to wash their plate, bring it back. It was washed again and then used again. That whole cycle was maintained. And just in 3,000 plates, stainless steel plates, 4.5 lakh people had their prasadam, had their food. And end of 10 days, after 4.5 lakh people ate, how many plates were lost? Only 17 plates were lost. Even if you take the cost of per plate as 100 rupees, it is 1,700. And how much money they saved is 16 lakh rupees, and the and 50 lorries of waste getting into the dump yards. And most importantly, which is again a great revelation for me, they said this time they had to cook only 20% less than what they used to cook every year for this program. It's very interesting. If you give the food in the areca nut plate, they used to leave some of it, just keep it somewhere, because they're not supposed to wash the plates. They're not supposed to throw the remaining food into the dustbin. So when we ask them to throw the remaining food in the dustbin, if at all something is left, there was an announcement that don't leave anything in the plate. But if it is left in the plate, make sure that you put it in the dustbin and then wash the plate and bring it back. That message itself saved 20% of the food. It means 1 lakh food worth 1 lakh people food was saved. So just 3,000 plates made the miracle. It's a magic of 3,000 plates. And this is the story of one such event. Now today, I have hundreds of such stories wherein you can see in the photograph, this is in one of the events where there are some 3 cups, big stainless steel plate, 3 bowls for all the various sweets, and 2 glasses. And even instead of the paper on the table, we have started requesting people go for either don't have anything or go for cloth, so that reusable ones. Please don't use paper. So no paper on the table. Even only sometimes we allow banana leaf, because it's a tradition in South India. And banana leaf is not a processed one, so it can be composted easily, wherein there's no fuel or any energy required to make banana leaf. So only banana leaf we allow it, but otherwise any event, even without banana leaf, we can really have nice events using plate bank. Another project which we tried and propagated, which was a very interesting project, is track your electricity. Every day, every month when we get into paying electricity bill, we know, oh, what a big figure and all that. And especially for children, they don't even know how much electricity their parents are paying. And many of the children, even science graduates, when I keep asking them in various events, when I ask them, they say, how is electricity produced? Especially the children from Karnataka say it's hydroelectric. It was Sir M. Vishweshraya who found it. When he saw the Jog Falls, water falling down, he said, what a waste of energy. How can we convert that hydraulic energy into electric energy? And he did it, and the first electricity of India is from Bangalore. And that's what many of us think. But unfortunately, today around more than 80% of the electricity comes from thermal power, comes from coal. Again, coal is a fossil fuel. And while generating the electricity, there's a huge air pollution, lot of carbon generated, and it is definitely not a green energy. So saving electricity becomes a very, very important part in our day-to-day life. So we had conducted an mega competition. Some 50,000 students enrolled. We asked them to track their electricity, their meter reading, gave them awards, recognition, made them understand how small things, switching off the light in time while going out, how fan takes more energy, need for LED, and all these things. It was a real interesting competition, which really brought change in their lives on a day-to-day basis. Another interesting story which went quite viral. This was the message which I had posted some 4 years back. A small change can make a big difference. This is one interesting thing, when we every day, all of us, whether it is men or women, nowadays men participate more into this. Is when we make coffee in the morning, coffee or tea in the morning, first thing what we do is open the plastic milk packet, and if we cut the corners and separate the piece, every day more than 50 lakh pieces get into the dustbin. And instead of separating the piece, if we just make a small cut, so a small change in the morning, our day should start with that small change. Think of those wildlife, think of the marine life which will eat this small piece of plastic, because this plastic small piece, when it gets into the dustbin, cannot be segregated. Because it cannot be segregated, it cannot be recycled. So definitely it is going to create nuisance. It will convert into microplastic if it gets into water, soil, and to stop all this, one small change is don't separate the piece. So it could be for the milk packet, curd packet, or any packet for that matter. Let's make sure that small pieces of plastic do not get into the dustbin or get mixed in the soil or water. And that can really, if all of us do this, just from Bangalore we can save 50 lakh pieces per day. If a whole of country follows it, if whole of world follows it, we can save crores and crores of small pieces getting into the environment, which cannot be very difficult to segregate them and recycle. This is a small video. Because some were saying that it was very difficult to open, this. How do we do it? Oh, sorry, I think that video stopped. Yeah. When I was talking about the small plastic pieces, we have to now, microplastic today is a big menace. So this is in the first caption, this is in Kannada. It says, Uppinallu plastic, soppinallu plastic. Uppu is salt. Soppu is the green vegetables, it's a palak or other green leafy vegetables what we consume. And today, unfortunately, microplastic, they say it's found in the breast milk. Microplastic is there in salt. Microplastic is there in many of our vegetables, especially the vegetables grown in the city surroundings have a lot of plastic, and definitely it has moved to villages. It doesn't take more time now. By the time our researchers start testing the soil quality of the villages, I'm sure the plastic is there everywhere now. And when it is really so scary, because I have read in one of the papers of IIT Bombay says every brand of salt has microplastic in it. And it means what? We have successfully contaminated the entire seawater with plastic today. And now, I don't know, institutes like only IIT and some great scientists has to find out how we remove this microplastic. It is sometimes so scary. Not just the small pieces. Today, every time when we wash our polyester clothing, there is a microplastic getting into water, and no sewage treatment plant treats microplastic. So we need to look at all these things, smaller aspects, and make sure that we don't contaminate air with microplastic, we don't contaminate water with microplastic. Another interesting story is here. This is when we started working on the zero garbage kitchen. There was a big problem for me, like back at home, especially now the mango season has started, and in April, May, what do we do with mango seeds? Not only mango, every seed, it's very difficult to compost the seed because of its size, and especially the mango seed. So what I tried is, anyway, we have the milk packet, and why not I was getting the compost because I do home composting. There is compost, got some mud. I tried making saplings at home. To tell you, every year I make more than 100, 120 mango saplings in the mango season, then other saplings, including the lemon and so many other tree saplings I have tried at home. If all of us, at least if every household of Bangalore, if they come out, each household they buy at least some 2-3 kgs of mangoes, at least one mango sapling per person, we can have 1 crore mango saplings a year. Is it not wonderful? These are all small thoughts will encourage elders and also youngsters value all these things. Otherwise, it will just get into the dustbin. And of course, today we have no place to throw them. Either we can convert the seeds what we get into seed balls, or convert them into a sapling. Again, the microplastic can be converted into micro bricks. Adamya Chetanas, when we buy pickle, or other things, we get such bottles. So what do we do with these bottles? We sent all these bottles to our schools where we serve midday meal. We ask the children, bring those small pieces of plastic from your house when you eat chocolate or whatever. Those small pieces of plastic, every school fills this bottle and sends it to us. Otherwise these all small pieces would have gone into landfills and created nuisance. What do you do with waste material? The paper. I saw this interesting artifact. The peacock, what you can see is a peacock done by an apartment people. They collected all the e-waste of that apartment and converted into a beautiful art piece. And the left side you can see 2 birds. These are done by our Adamya Chetana's midday meal school children. And even gum is also not required to make these birds. Just from the waste paper, they have done these. And this pen stand is from the package material. And there are various ideas. You have a raw material free of cost. Come out with various ideas. I keep telling children, don't just make the show pieces. Make some useful products. In fact, one of these birds, we gifted this bird to Honorable President of India, Pranab Mukherjee, when he visited our kitchen. We asked the very children who made it, and they gave it as a memento, and he really liked it. They can appreciate the effort and the message behind this. And now home composting is another area all of us have to look into. If we want to, when we want to convert we all should convert our kitchens to zero garbage, because all our mother is the first teacher, kitchen is the first school. So Pakashala is the first Patashala. And the biggest activity, or the very interesting and which we all love, is how do we compost the vegetable peels or many of the organic material that is not required in cooking, or that comes out as a waste in the kitchen. This is called Kamba, which is available in the market. This is called Varaha, which is designed by one of our volunteers. And this can be used. This Vara is available in Adamya Chetana. Kamba, you can get it online. Again, when you create compost, then why not have a terrace garden? Say terrace, grow your own vegetables. So I have a terrace. I am staying in an apartment, but my terrace today can give me one harvest, or at least twice a week or thrice a week. I get so many vegetables. It's very satisfying job. Many a times it may not suffice our entire requirement, but even if you get 2 mirchi, 3 mirchi, it is so satisfying that yes, I am growing it. I'm not used any chemicals in the whole process. Another idea of Adamya Chetana which clicked quite well called RR bags. This is reduce reuse bags, and we were always wondering, when we keep on saying, because this is the first lesson in any green lifestyle, or when we talk of environment preservation, eco conservation, is don't use the plastic thin carry bags or one time plastic bags, go for cotton bags. But when you are buying a vegetable worth 20-25 rupees, and many a times you forget the bag, and the bag cost is 50 rupees, how do a common middle class or a lower middle class family can manage it, was the question mark. So we came out with an idea, because nowadays people have many saris in their cupboards. Reduce the saris from the cupboard, donate it to Adamya Chetana. We will stitch the bags. One sari will give 6 bags. One bag we give it back to the donor as a memento, and other 5 bags are sold at a nominal price at 10 rupees per bag, and it's a big hit called RR bag. And so many, because this will make available the nice, beautifully looking bags at a lower cost to the needy. At the same time, the saris which are there in the cupboard got a meaningful purpose for them, and also we could give jobs to so many people to stitch these bags. So many women got the job of stitching the bag. And then one more this thing is steel water bottles. Carry your own bottle is the concept. We've started this campaign by this carry your own bottle campaign, and I'm so happy that not just Adamya Chetanas, now many people carry their own bottle, because every event there is an one-time plastic water bottle is given, and it's very difficult to say or have alternatives. That's what, unless there is a plate bank and unless there is an insistence. Every event, every place, these bottles are given. Instead, carry your steel bag along with you. So, to every donor of Adamya Chetana who donates 500 plus, we write his name, we print the name on the bottle. We have a printing machine, laser printing machine. We print their name and give it to our donors. Another simple thing which we Adamya Chetana practice is, every day we cook some 7 tons of rice, and to wash this 7 tons of rice we need at least 10,000 liters. So this 10,000 liters of water, instead of sending it to the sewage line, we collect it into a tanker and then send it for our volunteers join us, and we water the plants in the parks on the roadside. And which are these plants? I think it is in the reverse. It started in the reverse way. We were earlier feeding the plants with this water which are in the parks or which are planted by others. Then we realized that there is a mismatch of the plant's requirement and what is available today, and we started one more interesting program called Satyagraha Green Sunday. And before we go to Green Sunday and Satyagraha, every school going child or every homemaker, whoever comes to visits our kitchen, we tell them, yeah, for us it is 10,000 liters of water, but back at home you get 1 or 2 buckets of water when you wash the vegetables, when you wash the rice and other lentils and other things, instead of throwing it in the sink, collect it in a bucket, water the plant either in your kitchen garden or just opposite your house. That practice children have, we can inculcate children in this practice so that use the used water for many things. Otherwise we end up using the treated clean Kaveri water, the water, the drinking water which travels 100 kilometers from the urban cities. Would have used a lot of energy to travel here, but unfortunately we use the same water for washing our car, use the same water for cleaning the floor, and also for cooking and drinking. Instead, we use it only for drinking and other basic essential purposes, and try to use the used water for many of our other activities, especially for watering. It's a wonderful thing, the rice washed water. Sasyagraha, 1:7, 7:1, 1:1 is a very interesting story. I am thankful to IISc for giving this data. Thankful to Professor TVRAMACHANDRA, Professor late Shri Harish Bhattji, and all the team members. Because when we started this program 7 years back, the whole idea, when we went out to water the plants, we were wondering how many plants are, like we're not able to get the plants in the nearby area. So we were trying to find how many trees are required for each person, how many trees are available. And with help of late Harish Bhatt, he told us with this calculation of how many breaths per minute, per hour, each person needs 700 kg of oxygen just for breathing, and a tree gives 103 kgs. So one person needs 7 trees. And how many trees are there in Bangalore? Bangalore, with a whopping population of 1 crore plus, Ecological Science Department of Professor TVR have in their website the list of number of trees per ward, and that the total is around 15 lakh. So instead of having 7 crore trees, Bangalore has 1 crore divided by 7. So the requirement is 1 people need 7 trees, but what is there? The reality is for 7 people there is 1 tree. So that's where our Sasyagraha 1:7, 7:1 started. And then Ananth Kumar ji, who is the founder of Adamya Chetana, he said, see, 1:7 is a very high target. 7 crore trees of Bangalore, there is no space. We don't know, but why not at least let's have a target of 1 crore trees, 1:1. And more important is once in 7 days. Let's not forget this number 7. 1 in 7, every 7th day, let's go out and plant trees. And that's how our Green Sunday started. This is photo of 33rd Green Sunday. Since 2015 till date, we have every Sunday we have planted trees. We have cared the earlier planted trees, and the recent one was 75th Green Sunday. And with this, and there are many such numbers, the numbers have made they're really these fascinating numbers. If we share the numbers, a lot of ideas come up, especially with related to this 50 lakh small pieces or the food in the plate. People, we see, especially children and even in elders, in many events we see a lot of food getting wasted in the plates. But if you tell them some interesting numbers, it's not there in my presentation, but we all, probably many of us know, to grow 1 kg of rice, we need 2,500 liters of water. A person on an average needs 100 per meal, he needs 100 gram. It means if 100 gram rice is 250 liters, and if little bit is left on the plate, no, that is we can say it is 10 grams. So 10 grams of rice left in the plate is how many liters of wasting? How many liters of water? 25. At least 25 liters of 25 liters of water. So if you just say 25 liters, many a time we people don't understand what is 25 liter, but 25 liters is 2 buckets of water. So when you are leaving a wrist full of rice on the plate, if you are wasting that much, it means you are throwing two buckets of water into the dustbin. You can say it as you can. You're just wasting two buckets of water, and that people understand. And when I said gave the statistics, 1 kg it needs 2,500 liters of water to grow 1 kg of rice, and 10 gram what you leave on the in the plate is equivalent to 2 buckets. I'm sure any sensible person will stop leaving anything on the plate. Now such numbers, there's one more number to share. Again, this areca nut plate story. Before we started Plate Bank, we in one event we cooked food for 50,000 people, and the food was served in areca nut plates. It's one of the events that happened in Bangalore. And then we collected all those areca nut plates and sent it for briquettes making. And the briquettes, then I asked those people, that the briquette making industry, how much briquette is generated by 50,000 plates. And the interesting number is around 1.2 ton of briquettes you can make from 50,000 plates, which is equivalent to the fuel required to cook food for 50,000 people. So to cook food for 50,000 people, you need 1,200, around 1 ton of briquette, and the briquette comes from the very plates, from the very, or if we are using areca nut plate, one plate will give the equivalent fuel to cook meal for one person. And such numbers, even the air pollution indexes that PP, even when we look at the air pollution, the numbers are so high, especially in places like Delhi, it is 250. The index goes so high, 250, 300. And especially, but the people do not understand the numbers unless it is quantified and explained to them in common terms. One cigarette smoking is equivalent to 25 particles, ppm is one cigarette. So if you are staying in 100 ppm air polluted area, it is like you are smoking 4 cigarettes. And is it not scary? So it is how we can explain the air pollution. Go for carpooling, use more and more electric vehicles. There are so many things as a common man can really bring in a change. What is required is to create awareness, give the correct figures, make people understand, and not just by theory, but by changing our own lifestyle in all the areas, roti, kapda, makan, and even ahar and vihar, even our the vehicles what we use, understand about the pollution that a cement is created, how much of carbon that is generated when you make when the steel is manufactured. It is huge. It is in terms of tons of carbon is generated when in the one, I think 1 ton of to make 1 ton of steel, they emit some 680 kg of carbon. And that's where we realize we are wasting. Just we use staplers for everything, small metal pieces again cannot be recycled. Instead of stapler pin, we started using cotton thread. Why do you need stapler pin? So these things have to be thought about. It could be about paper glass or the papers what we use. Somewhere we need to quantify create alternatives. The final mantra of reduce, refuse, reduce, reuse, and recycle to be understood in real sense. Thank you. Thank you for the patience hearing. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask.
Thank you. Thank you so much, madam. Now I request participants, if you have any questions, you can share your questions. So actually, I have received some questions from the people who are unable to access. So I will ask that in the end, madam. If there are any questions, we will go ahead.
Yeah.
I request, please unmute yourself and share your question.
Hello.
There is a question from Deepa.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
Hey, ma'am, thank you so much. I have a question. I learnt your practices of all paper cutting. This one especially the milk and curd. So I've been trying to inculcate that one for the corporate level for 5 liter and 10 liters capacity, the replacement of the water cover, but I failed. I couldn't able to reach out to the right person to get it. Do you have any leads whom we can reach out to have that like 5 liters or 10 liters cover or something? Because earlier also I heard from your end like it is available, but we are failing to reach out.
No, not very clear. Can you?
Madam, madam, she's trying to highlight. She wanted whether there is any facility available where they can get like a large scale, like 5 liter, 10 liter milk, so that the purchasing of the small packets will be reduced. Is there any alternative available?
Yeah, as of now in Bangalore, it is not 6 liter is available, but it is not easily available to the common man. See, the whole idea of this thing is there are two kinds of plastic. One is a recyclable plastic. So the 1 liter or half. Try to use 1 liter which is available, and it can be recycled. There are ways of recycling. Instead of now, because they have their own yardsticks of the market. See, ours is a market-driven economy today. If the Ananth Kumar ji always used to say, until the ecology becomes a touching stone and not the money, this problem is going to be there. So till we have to wait for that day where ecology becomes a touching stone, not the money. And today, unfortunately, money drives everything. When I approached Karnataka Milk Federation people, I asked them, can you do alternatives like the bottles which they used to do earlier and cans, maybe plastic cans itself, but they can be reusable. But they say it's all very expensive, not feasible. This is what they can do. But the kind of plastic what they are using for our milk packet is can be easily recycled. It's a good quality. I think anyway, the people buying 6 liters are less in number. It should not be a big problem. The biggest problem is the smaller pieces, especially in clothing in many areas. Chocolates, chocolate covers. There's so many things, this packaging in wood and plastic is a real big nuisance today. In smaller pieces.
Okay.
No, you're not audible, Bharat. You're not audible.
Sorry. There are some questions shared by the participants. So one of such question is, can you highlight the use of briquettes and their efficiency in cooking?
Yeah, so we are the first people who started using briquettes for cooking. And when we started way back in 2009 and 10, we used to get these briquettes from Gujarat. It was not available in Karnataka or nearby place. And now it's available right in Bangalore. Briquettes are made from the combustible waste that is generated. It could be paper, or even they add sauce and the dead biscuits where the date is nearing for the expiry. So all those get into the briquette. We buy these briquettes. With regard to efficiency, they are slightly less efficient than firewood, but of course there's no question of using firewood, the way trees are getting cut because of firewood, so there is no question of using firewood. But for mass cooking, briquettes are quite efficient. To only thing we have to take care is the how do we stop the air pollution, because that is also very, very important. When you burn the briquette, if you just leave uh, the this thing, it will pollute the environment. So we have in Adamya Chetana, we have a heat exchanger, and then we have a scrubber. So we need to have these two things. So that's also an important point. For mass cooking, definitely it works. But for smaller kitchens, for household kitchens, fossil-free fuel can happen. Recently, our Honorable Minister Narendra Modi ji has announced that there will be a solar stove which you can have it in the kitchen, use it like an LPG stove. That is an alternate. And if the biogas is made available in cylinders, that is another alternate solution uh, for the fuel at small kitchens. But big kitchens, pellets and briquettes with taking care of air pollution will work. Definitely work. We are the best example. We have been using it since last almost 14 years now.
Okay, okay, madam. There is one question. Madam, can you highlight or share more information on getting steel plates for the programs at home?
Yes. We have a plate bank in Adamya Chetana, which is in Baswangudi. Our phone number is available in the website. What you have to do is come see the type of plates, which one you want, which kind of glass. We have 3 types of tumblers, bowls, including to eat ice cream, chat. We have various variety. Choose the variety, fill the form. We take nominal deposit, not nominal deposit. We take the deposit, the cost of the material. Out of that, 90% in the form of check, post-dated check. So no need to have so much of money in the account or in the cash. Only some 5,000 or 10,000 rupees is taken as cash. Use it, and after using, when you return, we will count, and whatever lost will be subtracted from the deposit, and we return the check and the cash deposit back. So this is the simple procedure. We have quite a big number of collection in Bangalore. So many people use it. If it is 500, 300, just don't worry. We have supported people. Recent support was in Krushi Mela in Palace Ground, where some 5,000 farmers had their food in our plate using our plates, and we have a dishwasher, IFB dishwasher, commercial dishwasher, and we have fitted it in a vehicle, and the dishwasher also goes. If there's a mega event, yes, you can request for the dishwasher. But at domestic level, get it washed in your house and return it back. We have a plate bank in Raichur. We have a plate bank in Hubli. You get all those numbers in our website and make use of this. We have one in Gadag and one in Kalburgi.
Okay, thank you. One last question. Madam, can you highlight what is the role of an individual in ensuring a green lifestyle?
Yeah, see, one is role, I think we all know ultimately, Vyakti se samashti. We say whatever is happening today, and unfortunately, a man being one of the most intelligent species, who is creating the highest pollution is the human being. No other life, the wildlife or the birds, they don't pollute. It is the highest pollution that's happening is because of we human beings, because of our of course, as an engineer, I have to say this technology or the kind of lifestyle what we are following. Somewhere we are going away from the nature and creating a lot of nuisance. So each individual should start looking at, through my act, what are the problems that I am creating? See, stopping 100% is difficult. Every breath we give carbon dioxide, take oxygen. Every act of ours leads to some pollution, but we should look at how we can reduce it. Basically, every material when we buy, a simple trick I'll tell you, every time when we buy something, just give a thought, how is it made? How much pollution that particular thing has done is one. While using, how much pollution it does, and while disposal, where does it go? If we start thinking of all these things, the entire cycle, definitely we give answer to all this. And I'll tell you by personal experience, when we do these small things, do these small changes, and try to understand how we are able to contribute, that satisfaction what we get is phenomenal. I don't know how much we'll be able to contribute to the environment, but if you plant a tree, what you get, Bangalore tree is 7 crore trees. How much do we plant every week? Hardly 50, 100, some 20 people together we plant 100. But the satisfaction what we 20, 30 people get is something cannot be measured. And I think all of us should become the eco warriors and do our bit in environment conservation.
Okay, ma'am. Sorry, there is another question from Dr. Durga. What are your views regarding multi-tier cropping and vertical household gardens? So can it be the good option for simultaneous carbon sequestration and oxygen generation at home, and also providing the crops and vegetable and fruit to the people? He's emphasizing on vertical gardens at home.
Yeah, vertical, see, anything, any green small activity also will help in two ways. One is in generating the oxygen. Many a times I feel it will not give to the extent what we put the effort. But at the same time, these things will take us towards the green, try to understand the life, try to do, so that will motivate us doing bigger things. I don't know whether the entire terrace garden can take care of our fruit requirements or our vegetable requirements of urban areas, but definitely the vertical gardens, terrace gardens can help us in bringing down the temperature, the room temperature, and giving us a little bit more oxygen, and of course carbon sequestration. But more important of all these, will definitely give us motivation to do more and more projects, more and more activities which are helpful for the environment. That's what I can say. I can tell you, by doing all this, my my pressure on Mother Earth, whatever the damage what we are creating, can be reduced a little bit by doing it.
Yeah, indirectly we can reduce our food mile also.
Yes, to some extent. Yes. If you go look at the numbers, we are quite far away. Our requirements is quite high, and what we grow on our terraces is low. But at the same time, it can be a great learning and motivation. Ultimately, that motivation takes us to a long way.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much for sharing your views, madam. I now request Dr. Anandi Subramanian, who is the founder of Soaring Sparrows Foundation, to share her views. Over to you, Anandi, madam. Anandi, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Tejaswini. I am really amazed at what you have been doing. And unfortunately, I got to realize your work so late in life. I have been in the ministry. I was a principal advisor in the MOEF and retired, and I've started this company. And I'm currently a consultant to UNEP working on this mission life. So we are kind of, what you have done will really give us a lot of examples of how people can individually change their lifestyle. So this is something that will really help us, and I wish, if possible, I would like to meet you in person also, so that we can take, really good examples of how basically that's what we are focusing on how to change individual lifestyles, their behaviors, and how to, it's very difficult because all of us are set in certain behavioral patterns. We are used to the modern ways of life, the modern technology, and the ease of life. So we don't want to put in an extra bit on effort to understand how we are harming the environment, and to that we need to create, like you've mentioned, those numbers. They are very critical to understand that how you are actually harming the environment as an individual, that those numbers are very critical for them to be aware. Otherwise, generally when people read in whichever articles or whatever, they see, okay, fine, I mean, the environment is being polluted and somebody is doing it. They don't see that each and every person is individually contributing in their own way to polluting the environment, and that is why we have come to this situation. So I'm really happy that you have brought us to this awareness of how to bring in individual behavioral changes through small steps, and something which is doable, something which people will do it, and just that they need to be made aware of what are the repercussions of their actions. If we can tell them in that way, in that language, in a simple language, I think we can kind of manage to nudge at least few people, and then later on it can become a movement. But I'm really thankful to you for the various innovative solutions that you've done in your in the Adamya Chetana itself, as well as in other sectors where you've it's not only the food, it's also the clothing, roti kapda makan, what you said was right. And apart from that, we are also looking at even other aspects for which I will later on we can, we will be kind of interacting with you, I think. I hope to do that. So now I'll just stop with this. Thank you for a very enlightening talk. And I really hope that this, whatever you've said, will be viewed by people, because this, I think, is being streamed live on YouTube. So it would be good if more and more youth watch this, and then they come to understand that what they can do with small steps that they can take in their lives. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, madam. Now I request Dr. TVRAMACHANDRA sir to share his views.
Yeah, namaskara. Thank you for a very interesting talk. And I'm sure the youngsters who have taken part in this discussion are benefited by this, the work what you have done over a period of time. And one of the thing is one of the youngster is asking, I think Deepa is asking about where do we get all this information at one place. Probably that's an also is a time to archive that at Adamya Chetana website also. Of course, your presentation available on the YouTube also gives this one, which we will make it available to everybody. But in addition to that, if we can also do this, the web page at Adamya Chetana or Ananta Pradhisthana, this one, probably that will certainly convey the message to the wider section of the society. And another thing is about the internship. Probably you can think about having some interns. A lot of youngsters keep asking about this one, this kind of a green kitchen, whether we can take part and all. So probably that is another thing you can plan for that. Of course, we can help you out also. And the third thing is Dr. Anandi Subramanian was just mentioning, as a part of the LIFE project, she is planning to have a brainstorming session. Probably sometime well in advance, she will communicate to you about the thing, so that you can take part in the thing. Or if you agree, maybe that brainstorming session can happen in Green Kitchen itself.
Yes.
So
along with
so
lunch.
Dr.
Along
Anand,
with lunch.
yeah. And also they can see the live demonstration of the thing, and probably that message will go to the probably over a period of time we may have to come out with the metrics. Had you used the LPG, what was your footprint? Or if you are not adopted these measures, what would have been your ecological footprint? And by this, how much footprint you have reduced. That would be very interesting thing. Probably as some graduate interns, we can ask them to do this calculation, and I think over a period of time that will help, and also it will help the government of India. Professor, the Mr. Modi's program also, this message will help actually. So because this is at some scale, it will benefit everyone in the society. So, and if everyone, if we can develop some apps, if we consume X amount of food, there's on what is my water footprint, as you are rightly mentioning about that, 25 grams of, the 10 gram of rice, how much water is the thing. If the youngsters can understand that, I think that would be a very good message to the youngsters. Probably can think about how to develop that so that make more and more people environmentally sensible. Once they are sensible, I'm sure they'll be responsible. So that the vision of or the idea of lifestyle for environment, we will achieve that. So thank you once again for a very interesting talk, and also the lot of youngsters have taken part. I'm sure they will come up with a mechanism to replicate. What Adamya Chetana is doing, how to replicate this in other cities and other the districts. I'm sure it's not possible with one organization. So how to replicate that so that this message reaches the wider section of the society? Probably that also we can think about it, how to do that, okay, over a period of time. But remarkable work and remarkable contribution to the society. Thank you very much.
Sir,
Thank
you.
you.
Namaskar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone, for actively taking part in the live webinar. So, I wholeheartedly, on behalf of EIACP at IISc, thank Dr. Tejaswini Ananth Kumar for sharing her views and enlightening us on the alternative solutions which can be everyone be able to adopt. So, thank you so much, Madam, for sharing your views. I request all the participants to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also please fill the Google form so that you will get the notification of our upcoming webinar series, as well as the details about the upcoming brainstorming session. So with this, I'm thanking everyone for active participation. Thank you, one and all. Good night.
Thank you, Dr. Ananthi. We will, when I come to Delhi,
No, I'm not in Delhi. I'm actually in Kunnur.
okay, good. Then please come to Bangalore.
Yeah.
Come to Bangalore.
I've
That's the easiest way.
Yeah, I've chosen a very very nice and less polluted place to retire. So, whenever I come to Bangalore, and you're most welcome to come to Kunnur.
Please come to
and
Bangalore, and
we'll meet sometime.
it'll be nice. And
Yeah, we'll meet.
Professor TVR has been very supportive for all our activities. Sir, we'll do this internship and then measurements. Both Adamya Chetana's footprints and also plate bank footprint. Plate bank, whatever number of people use this plate bank, we have the numbers. Anyway, when they take the plates, we have those numbers. We will do it. We will have to make some methodology. Thank you then. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, madam.